What's up, YouTube? Got my strop done. I think I'm on my final design here, and when I started thinking about this, I kept thinking about something to wrap around the outside to hold the sandpaper, but what I decided to go with was just little Ranger bands. And Ranger bands, if you don't know, are just bicycle tire that the Army Rangers started using way back when to tie up all their loose straps on their gear and to tie other things down that they didn't want to make noise. And they're not indestructible, but they're better than rubber bands for sure. They're real strong and stout. You can cut them to any size you like. If you go to Walmart or wherever to get some, just get the cheapest kind they have, because the more expensive ones that I've noticed, they all had fix-a-flat kind of stuff in them, some sort of gel that would fix small holes. So obviously we don't want that, but my strop here is got sandpaper holes in it. You can put 3 different grits in there, or 4 if you chose. My plan is to put compound in this one, or 2 compounds if you so chose. Plenty of room. I went with black compound. I think if you had to go with one, black will actually sharpen and polish at the same time. If you were to take a mirror finish and use black compound or strop on that, you would see scratch pattern. So you can hear it when you use it. Black is a aggressive compound, and that's what you would want, in my opinion, if you only had one. So the other side, I have a nice firm mouse pad, and I'll demonstrate how I'm going to use the sandpaper here. You should roll the sandpaper this way, obviously, so that it doesn't attach itself to the side with grit. If you were to roll it grit out, the grit would grab hold a lot. So what you do is you're going to lay it on there the way you want it. What I found easiest is to go about here for me, wrap it over the front, and I am right-handed, so I'm going to make sure this edge is lined up really nicely. And just take a Ranger band and go right over the front. Now for the back, I could pull one of these up. I'm going to keep extras on there because for me, I'm one of those 2 is 1 and 1 is none guys. So I have at least 4 or 5 spares on there. For this back side here, just going to use another Ranger band. Sorry if I got out of camera there. And the rubber band, the Ranger band doesn't have to be flush, but the sandpaper should be. And it's curled, so it looks like it's not tight, but it is pretty tight there. You can still pull it tight, and basically you're ready to sharpen. Now, I've got a knife here for demonstration purposes. It's my Mora 120 carving knife, and it's got a few little chips and rolls in it from using it a lot. I use this one carving my strops. I have no power tools, by the way. I do all this by hand, and sanding, and the inside holes. I don't even have a drill right now, so I used a old school crank drill with a small bit on it, and then I used a chainsaw file, resulting in the uneven finish you see there. And this is just pine. I'm getting into carving, and obviously would like to use something out of the woods, but when you go to Lowe's or Home Depot or get some extra wood laying around your house, it's going to already have a nice flat side for you, or 2 flat sides in this case. So you've got your sandpaper on there, and you're basically ready to sharpen anything, from axes to machetes to knives like this. With the Mora, it's a nice finish on there. You know, this they come with a nice mirror finish. Mine's been used a lot and sharpened before, but it doesn't. It's not been abused, so I've never taken it below. Well, I'm just now getting new with sandpaper, so I don't know what grit you would consider it, but my diamond stones, I used only the extra fine, and then I have a ceramic Lansky stone I use by hand, followed by an Arkansas stone, and then on to stropping. So it does have scratch patterns on it, but you can see how easy this is to use, guys. It's real effective. I'm not pushing real hard, just light pressure. If you had some WD-40 or break free to throw on there, you're going to get better life out of your sandpaper. And I've got the small range kit size break free CLP that I'm going to throw in there with my other kit. And even though I put a tung oil finish on here, by the way, to make the strop waterproof, or the wood that is waterproof, I will still go with keeping it in some sort of sandwich baggie or Alex sack or some sort of nice Ziploc. But you can see how easy this is. You can do a little bit of the blade at a time if you have a large knife, and I can already see those little rolls are out of there. These carving knives are real thin, and I say that it's the same thickness as the standard Mora Bushcraft knife, but it comes to a nice thin taper. It's got a Scandi on there, obviously, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. So then you're ready to strop, and you don't even have to take your sandpaper off. You can just start on this stropping right away. And if you go watch 91W Combat Vets vids on strop compound and application, he does a great demo on stropping, and he pointed out you don't have to strop the whole blade at once. In other words, if I was just working on the tip, I could just come up here and just work on that tip for a minute. And so if you had a large blade, is my point, you could sharpen it, strop a little bit of it at a time. But yeah, I hope you guys like my video. The dogs are barking at the mailman right now, so I'm going to go see if I didn't get some goodies in the mail. And appreciate you guys watching. Hope you like my strop. And please sub. Oh, by the way, real quick, if you're still with me, I just picked up some red oak at Lowe's, and even without any kind of finish on it, that is looking so pretty. So pretty. So I'm excited to start messing with that. Should be difficult to carve. Fine with me. Thanks for watching, guys. Please sub.